Radio Rahim with George Groves, yet another classic, and you're no stranger to those. What did you think as these 4 rounds unfolded?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't predict the outcome beforehand, but it just goes to show that we're supposed to be experts in this sport, and it's almost impossible sometimes to make that prediction. I didn't see that coming, but it just goes to show there are so many things at stake, and there's so many variables that happen throughout camp and throughout our career and throughout a build-up, how a fighter's thinking and feeling, how they can perform on the night. But I mean, full credit to Liam Smith, who sees the day on his biggest, on the biggest stage, his biggest night, with a brilliant knockout win.
Very few, if anybody, saw that coming before the fight, but during the fight, could you see Liam landing that shot before it landed?
Well, Mark, I always thought, and this is not to try and take anything away from Liam Smith, I always wondered how tight Chris Eubank Jr is at middleweight now. And then I know when you get tight at the weight, certain things happen. Your punch resistance can go, the snap on your shot can go. Do you still have your strength? Are you able to throw punches and bunches? So there's always that element of it, but also Smith's moving up in weight. They've both got a few losses. But Smith is a really well-schooled, great amateur pedigree, experienced professional fighter, former world champion. So up until that point, there wasn't an awful lot in it. I thought Chris was probably doing a bit better. The third round was quite good. He'd started landing his jab, finding the range of his jab, and then started bringing his right uppercut into play. His bent arm shots. The whole time though, it did look like a lot of effort for Chris. He never really got into that comfort zone. You'd say that Smith probably looked a little bit more comfortable, even though he wasn't quite being effective at that point. And then in the 4th round, he does catch him. I saw it on the monitor. I think it starts with a right hand over the top. A couple more shots fly in, and then he dips off that left leg, and it's a left hook come uppercut. Really good shot. That really hurts Chris, and then he is hit with at least one more on his way down. Goes down heavy in his own corner. Jumps up onto his feet really quickly. I don't think he's ever probably been in that sort of situation before. Pride kicks in, and Smith at that point, not necessarily famous for being a great finisher, but being a well-rounded, experienced pro, and the sort of the bad state that Eubank was in, you felt like this fight is over. So, yeah.
And lastly, it's up to Eubank whether or not this fight happens again. Would you advise him to do it?
No, personally, Rahim, I don't think that's the right move for him right now. I think there's something wasn't quite right with him tonight. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe only he knows. Maybe no one knows. But yeah, he didn't look, to me. He didn't look pumped on the ring walk. He didn't. There was some deep breaths. I don't know if he was enjoying it tonight. As I say, the fight itself, although he started to sort of find a foot in it, it felt like there was effort there, and then the punch resistance where he's always shown a good chin. And people might have over-exaggerated his chin because he'd never been down, and his dad had been in so many famous fights, and then it was quickly branded as he's inherited this granite Eubank chin. But tonight that wasn't there for him. So I think he should just take some time more than anything. Take some time, seek some advice, find some people around him, who he trusts, who've got his best interests at heart, and make a decision. But don't rush back into a rematch, because that's what the fighter in him will want to do. It might not be necessarily the best thing to do.
Incredible breakdown from the way only a fighter can, and really only George Grove can. So thank you for that. Radio Rahim with George Groves.